Hey guys, मैं हूं रौनक and welcome back to the another episode. Today we are going to do another ranking video which is specifically for the books I have read, specifically the romantic books I have read. I know which is one of my I really wanted to do this from a long time, and actually I was waiting for the perfect opportunity. I just saw in my Goodreads that how many books, romantic books I have read, and I realized that I have read quite a book in the romance section. So I thought, why not do a ranking video? This book consists of a classic tales, movies, adaptations. Then there are a few latest also books also. We'll talk about everything. So let's get started. So we have the section. The first one is Love, which is I stole from Prajakta Koi, aka Mostly Sane. She always say love, so I thought, why not add this as a new ranking video. The second one is Favorite, which is quite favorite but not highly recommended, or I will not reread. I will not read it once again. So these are the favorite books. The third one is Good, which is quite good romance but not that great. The fourth one is Okay, which is okay. And the fifth one is Yucks, which is I completely hated the romance. So we are going to talk about everything. The first book is Pride and Prejudice, which is one of the best book, one of the classic books, one of the best classic books. Still, it's one of my favorite book. But today I'm not going to treat this book as a classic book. So I'm going to treat this book as a romance book, because that's the what we are doing here, and that's the first goal of our ranking the videos. So don't take me wrong if I say something wrong about the classic books. Well, classic books are all time favorite, man. Everyone has their own opinion. So I hope you have your own opinion. So talking about this book, Pride and Prejudice, it's classic, one of the best tale. It's definitely good book, there is no doubt. This book is all about the five daughters and the social prestige, finding the actual goddess, because there is only main errand, because they have only five daughters and they wanted to meet someone in the main errand, and after that fall in love when the actual romance start. But it's not about only about the economical gain, social prestige, but it's more about the romance also. So should I put this in a love? Well, I have read this book and I really enjoyed it, but there are few points I really didn't enjoy. I mean, the way the situation handled, the way economic perspectives talked about, and the way things are taken when it comes to the romance. So this book is favorite but not into the love section. The next one is Elena and Park. Well, this book is definitely better than okay, because I really enjoyed reading this book. Specifically, you can see the cover, there is a girl with red curly hair and there is a boy. So it's college I guess, yes, the kind of college romance story, actually burst romance story, which I do enjoy, because this girl is a red curly hair girl and she is wearing men clothes. I mean, उसे men clothes wear करना बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद था. Kind of awkward, I will not say, but she's really, definitely, she is smart and she is definitely good in the English. She is definitely good in the college. She is there for the education. Talking about the Park is also good, but he is also the kind of introvert kind of a guy, or who don't talk to the lot of people. He loves music, he loves comic books, but how they started journey in the bus ride. Actually उस टाइम पे क्या होता था, स्कूल टाइम पे अगर कोई भी एक बस में अगर एक सीट के पास बैठ जाता है, मतलब अगर 11 पार्क किसी और लड़की के साथ बैठ जाता था, तो पूरे लाइफ टाइम के लिए, आई मीन फॉर द होल ईयर, दे हैव टू सीट ऑन दैट सीट ओनली इन द कॉलेज बस. सो दैट्स व्हाट द concept at that time is. And no one gives seat to the Eleanor at the starting point. No one gives seat to the Eleanor at starting point. Only the Park gives seat to the Eleanor, and that's where their journey started. Starting में they don't talk a lot about it. They don't usually be friends with them, but usually just starting with the listening to the music, starting with the reading comic books, and their bus journey started. Then they become friends, then she gets bullied and a lot of stuff happen. But ultimately her Eleanor, the family background is really crucial or really hard, because उसके घर में उसके drunk daddy, stepfather drunk होते हैं, and a lot of thing happens, and 11 try to run out of the house, और उसके जिस लोगों ने उसे bully किया होता है वो उसे help कर देते हैं, and पार्क भी उसकी हेल्प कर देता है. बट आफ्टर सम इयर्स I guess they again meet and something like that. I'm forgetting the story, yaar, shit, damn. But okay, talking about the romance, the college romance is definitely okay. College romance is definitely okay. The way start their friendship is definitely good. The way talk to each other, the way share their music, the way share their comic books is definitely good. Then their journey, actually their romance part is only in the college bus. That's the only thing. But here is slightly think that I hated. That's why this is not his favorite book for me. It's only because of they talked about the only summer occasion, summer after summer occasion, what happens that really missing. That's the reason only I think I have not enjoyed that much book, so it's definitely good for me. The next book is Message in the Bottle by the Nicholas Spark. Actually, Nicholas Spark is one of my favorite author when it comes to the romance. Actually, he is a romantic author. He is known as a romantic author. I guess I should make the one video on the Nicholas Spark, because we have 3 books by Nicholas Spark here: The Message in the Bottle, The Walk to Remember, Notebook, and there are other books also I have not read yet, but I will read even the latest book, The Return, I'm reading, and that's also quite good. I hope to finish that soon. So I think I should make a definitely video on the Nicholas Sparks book. Message in the Bottle starts usually with Teresa, whatever we call it. उसकी लाइफ 8 years सन उसका होता है, 8 year की मैरिज उसकी अबाउट टू एंड, डिवोर्स होने वाला होता है, एंड शी इज़ ऑन द बीच, वो घूम रही होती है और उससे एक मैसेज इन द बॉटल, एक बॉटल में जाते हैं जिसमें मैसेज होता है, एंड शी रीड दैट मैसेज, देन शी पब्लिश दैट मैसेज, देन दे फाइंड the author, they try to find the same who did that there's a name is Garrett. I guess if I take the wrong name then I'm sorry, but the name is Garrett, and he is also same kind of guy कि उसके भी relationship की उथल पुथल मची हुई है, and they both wanted to meet, then they meet. Actually the Theresa's editors, they suggest to go and meet Garrett, and they meet, they spend around there 3-4 days, they fall in love, but there is a gap because the author or the Garrett thinks that she is using to make the publicity, she is using to write another letter, she is using to get to know about the another letters, and that's the story about it. It's a good book, it's a definitely good book. It's actually, I thought it's okay good, but the romance part, the later part is definitely good. That's the reason I will put it in the good. It's not, well, I think I should read that again, because I really wanted to read the again, but I think I should keep it in the good definitely, because there are few points at the ending that I really not enjoyed. I really not enjoyed, because again that the message in the bottle and same story happens, because of the point. I think this will go for the good. The next book is A Walk to Remember by the Nicholas Spark. I told you we have a lot of Nicholas Spark books, and the 3 books I have read. The Walk to Remember this story is narrated by the London Carton, which is the protagonist of our story, who is a college student. I mean, this story moves to the past, and they talk about the things about their life, you know, the Carters and the Jenny, which is from the well background, how they fall in love, what are their stories started. Actually Jamie and their friends, उसके जो friends होते हैं वो ऐसे होते हैं कि जो kind of famous in the college just because of they are doing something wrong, or they are because उनके साथ कोई friend नहीं बना सकता. उसके टाइम जेमी की एंट्री होती है, जेमी की फैमिली वगैरह बहुत अच्छे से होती है. कार्टन की डैड के साथ बिल्कुल भी बनती नहीं है, और डैड ही उसके एंड में हेल्प कर देता है, जैसे कि हमने 2 स्टेट में देखा था, काइंड ऑफ दैट वाला सीन. और यहाँ पे जेनी होती है कि उसके छोटे छोटे विशेष होते हैं, जैसे कि एक ही टाइम पे 2 स्टेट्स में या 2 सिटीज़ में होना, देन टैटू बनवाना, देन देर इज़ अ विश जिसके उसके मॉम ने जहाँ पे शादी की थी, जिस चर्च पे शादी की थी, उसी चर्च में शादी करना. तो उसके बारे में एक्चुअली ये एक्चुअली स्टोरी है, एंड हाउ द कार्टर हेल्प्स हर ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम, उसके बारे में है. एंड देन द जेमी शी टोल्ड हिम टू टेक अ पार्ट इन द ड्रामा, एंड वहाँ पे एक्चुअली उनकी दोस्ती हो जाती है. देन देयर इज़ अ सीन अबाउट उन्होंने एक प्रैंक किया होता है, तो उसके बारे में भी एक सीन है, और उसके बाद क्या होता है उसके बारे में भी एक सीन है. टॉकिंग अबाउट द रोमांस, दिस रोमांस इज़ रियली गुड. द वे वो दो जो यानी कि द कार्टन गोज टू जेमीज डैड एंड आस्क हर कि मैं उसे डेट पे लेके जा सकता हूँ क्या, एंड ही सेज यस यू कैन गो टेक हर टू द डेट, जेमी को तुम डेट पे ले जा सकते हो. एंड वहाँ पे जो पीरियड है वो डेफिनेटली वर्थ वॉचिंग. उसके साथ जो होता है, वो जो सारी चीज़ें करते हैं, और इसकी जो मैरिज तक की जो जर्नी दिखाई गई है, वॉक टू रिमेंबर. बट यू नो द वॉक टू रिमेंबर इट्स डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि इट्स काइंड ऑफ फुल सर्कल. उसके एंड में ऑब्वियसली दिस इज़ अ काइंड ऑफ अ स्पॉइलर, उसके एंड में डेथ हो जाती है. एंड द वॉक टू रिमेंबर, आई मीन देयर लव इज़ सो गुड कि डेफिनेटली ये मेरी फेवरेट बुक है. आई विल डेफिनेटली रीड दैट अगेन. It's for sure. I mean, definitely it's favorite. If you have not read The Walk to Remember, you should go and check and read The Walk to. The next one is The Notebook, the well-known book. It's between the Noah and Ellie की उन दोनों की स्टोरी के बारे में. Noah is a kind of a worker, and उसके वर्कर लाइफ कैसी होती है उसके बारे में. वर्कर लाइफ, वो एक दिन एली से मिलता है एक ही इवेंट पे, या आई थिंक एक काइंड ऑफ मेले में उसे मिलता है और वहाँ पे उसे दोस्ती करना चाहता है, बट शी सेड नो, बहुत बार वो नो कह देता है। एंड देन उसके बाद फाइनली उनकी दोस्ती हो जाती है, दे बिकम स्टार्टेड टू फॉल इन लव। बट इसकी जो फैमिली होती है, यानी कि नो एंड एली, एली की जो फैमिली होती है वो बहुत ही प्रेस्टिजियस हाई फैमिली होती है बिकॉज ऑफ अ मॉम, क्योंकि मॉम के लिए भी नो जैसा एक रिश्ता आया था कि जो एक वर्कर में एज अ वर्कर काम करता था, एंड वो उस टाइम उसे नहीं मिलता। सो आई मीन बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्यू रीजन्स वो निगलेक्ट कर देते। एंड नो अली के साथ सेम कंडीशन हो रही होते। अली फॉल्स इन लव विद अ वर्कर, कि जो एक शॉप वर्कर या कोई भी है, उसका एक ड्रीम होता है एक अपने घर खरीदने का, कि जो उसका घर था उसके बारे में, और उसे वाइट से डेकोरेट करने का, और बहुत सारी चीज़ें उसके बारे में बताई गई है। एंड हाउ दे फॉल इन लव, दिस इज़ डेफिनेटली अ परफेक्ट रोमांस स्टोरी, एंड सो इट्स गोज टू द फेवरेट फॉर श्योर, इट्स बेटर देन गुड। द थिंग इज़, उसके बाद उन दोनों में डिस्टेंस आ जाता है कि जब उन्हें पता चल जाता है कि व्हेन दे मेक आउट द केस, उसके बाद होने के बाद उसके बीच में डिस्टेंस आता है। जेमी गोट्स ऑफ, एंड उसके बाद नोहा है, उसे 365 लेटर्स, हर रोज एक लेटर उसे भेजता है। आई मीन लिटरली कौन इतनी सारी हरकत करेगा कि हर रोज एक लेटर भेजना टू नो अबाउट जेमी, बट उसके पास से कोई रिप्लाई नहीं आता। विल टॉक अबाउट दैट इन सम अदर वीडियो बिकॉज आई वॉन्टेड टू मेक दैट वीडियो स्पेसिफिकली। एंड उसके बाद वो अब हो जाता है कि उसके बाद वो एक्चुअली मिलिट्री में चला जाता है, एंड शी बिकम्स एट द, वो अलग चली जाती है। एंड देन उसके बाद वो घर खरीद लेता है जिसके बारे में हमने बात की थी, उसे कम्प्लीटली डेकोरेट कर देता है कि उसे जैसे डेकोरेट करना था। एंड वो घर पे मज़ा नहीं आता, इसलिए वो सेल करना चाहता है। एंड उसके बाद अली की एंट्री फिर से उसके लाइफ में हो जाती है कि वहाँ पे अली किसी और से प्यार कर दिया, उसे किसी और से शादी होने वाली थी। उसी टाइम पे अगेन एंट्री हो जाती है, एंड दैट्स समथिंग ब्यूटीफुल टू वॉच। इट्स डेफिनेटली लव फॉर मी बिकॉज इट्स डिजर्व्स टू बी रीड। अगर आपने ये भी नहीं पढ़ी है तो गो चेक दैट बुक आउट, यू विल डेफिनेटली एंजॉय दैट। द नेक्स्ट वन इज द ग्रेट गैट्सबी। ऑब्वियसली दिस इज वन ऑफ द फेमस क्लासिक टेल बिटवीन द जय गैट्सबी एंड द डेजी, हाउ दे फॉल इन लव, उसके बारे में जो चीज़ें होती है। देन निक की एंट्री, देन उन दोनों का मिलना। But I'm not going to talk about the classic here. I'm going to talk about only the romantic part. Well, obviously, this book is from boyfriend perspective is definitely a lot of romantic because Jay Gatsby उसके लिए जो चीज़ें करता है वो definitely worth watching है. But in the form of the romance, it's not that great. I mean, yes, he is doing everything for him. That's we will not call it as a 100% romance because there is only few point कि मुझे जब डेजी और निक घर पे होते हैं, यानी कि आफ्टर द अराउंड 70 to 80 पेजेस के बाद जब दे टॉक अबाउट देयर, एंड जब निक उन दोनों के घर पे आता है, यानी कि घर में होते हैं, तो वहाँ पे जो चीज़ें होती है, जय गैट्सबी उसके लिए जो चीज़ें करता है, दैट्स द ओनली गुड पॉइंट आई लव। अदर देन दैट्स इट्स नॉट रियली इन point of view the great romance book. I know a lot of people gonna hate me for this, for putting into the good, but that's what I think, and that's the only thing I enjoyed about this. The next one is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Jojo Moyes is another favorite author for me. Well, it's not yucks, it's not okay, it's better than good, definitely. It's my favorite movie, favorite book also. Me Before You, it's the story between the Lois Clark and the Will. Lois Clark and the Will, and actually they call it as a they call it as a love and the will in between की story. Lo lost her job because of the some tragedy, और उसे कोई भी करके एक जॉब चाहिए था, और उसने केयर टेकर का जॉब ले लिया। और विल है कि जो पैरालिसिस है, बिकॉज ऑफ द सम एक्सीडेंट वो पैरालिसिस हो जाता है, और जब वो लो से मिलता है देन दे स्टार्ट एक्चुअली रोमांस, एंड दिस बुक इज ऑलमोस्ट 70% filled with romance. You should definitely check this out. I'm not going to talk a lot about this book, but OMG, the way they start romance, the way go for the Swiss, they plan the trip, the way when they walk, they talk about the things in दोनों की journey, then they talk about sweet little things. This is so good. Definitely you should read this. It's definitely favorite, but it's for low for me. I have read this book I guess twice, and it's still my favorite book, and you should definitely check this book because you will definitely going to enjoy this. It's definitely low for me. There is no replacement for that. The next one is The Sun Is Also a Star. Sun Is Also a Star. It's a quite good book, definitely. It's good book, favorite, or it will be love. Well, it's a story between the Daniel and Jamika. Daniel is an American guy, and no, Daniel is a Korean guy and Jamika is American guy. Jamika is a kind of really practical girl, ki she is very practical, and Daniel is all about the faithful person who believes in love, a lot of things. उन दोनों की एंट्री हो जाती है, they talk about each other, they become friends with each other, but there are few issues about the religion. Then there is a lot of topic about this because of the romance part is little less, but there is a good point about this book. But it's definitely not my favorite. It's obviously it's not my favorite. There are a few points I really enjoyed about the how they made. Then they talk about the relationship. They talk about different topics that I really enjoyed. But it's not that favorite book. It's not that great. I will put it into the favorite. It's not that good. I guess this is okay for me because the ending is also quite predictable, and obviously the most of the romantic books ending is quite predictable, and that's okay. But this book is okay for me. There is not much. Obviously it is converted into movie also, but I will talk about the Sun is also a star in a different video, because I have very special video dedicated for that. The next one is 5 Feet Apart, which is another my favorite book, which I definitely love this book because it's the relationship between the Stella and the Will. Stella is in the hospital. Even the Will is in the hospital. Stella is waiting for the lung transplant, and both are going for the problem. And there is when they have to do the lung transplant, you cannot talk to at the 1 feet each other. You cannot meet each other. And Stella is 17 years old. She is recording everything. She is documenting her life to the videos and the documentaries and everything. She develops one app also. She's very smart. She's absolutely smart. You can see that kind of Hermione kind of girl. She's absolutely smart. She develops an app to check all the medical description, to record all the medical description. And the Will is kind of okay kind of a girl ki chal raha hai chalne do, jo ho raha hai hone do. We will see that later. This kind of girl, and they both fall in love. And the reason behind the 5 feet apart, I will tell you first, because it's usually 6 feet apart. If you have like the coronavirus, they say that you have to keep a distance of 6 feet, and if you have this disease, then you have to do the lung transplant. Then you have also keep the distance of 6 feet apart. But they hold a stick between them, and they like kind of do this, that one hand, and they think that okay, not 6 feet apart, but we can actually do the 5 feet apart. So that's how the title of the book and the connection between the story is. I definitely enjoyed this because they go on the dating 2 times. One with Will's birthday, and there is when the first time meet. I guess that's the point. Yes, the both time they go on the dating, and the dating is absolutely fantastic, and the ending part is OMG. It's definitely on to the point. The way Will talk about everything, the way Will says everything, and the end part about the aeroplane mode, then that also it's definitely love for me. If you have not read this, then definitely go check that book. 5 Feet Apart, you will definitely enjoy it. Okay, the last 2 books, The Fault in Our Stars. Okay, I guess you guys have already noticed this key where I'm going to put this, because you have already watched a lot of videos about this, The Fault in Our Stars, how much I love this book by the John Green. Okay, this story is all This story is about the Augustus and Hazel, and you already watched the movie also, which is made into Hindi, which is not quite close to this book. Augustus and Hazel, they fall in love, and the way they do the romance, the way do the texting, the way share the song, the way share the book, it's absolutely fantastic. There is no doubt about that. And the ending, the way they go to the Amsterdam, the way they go to meet the author and to know the story. Then there is a sequel. There is a short kind of there is another book also mentioned in this book. The Diary of a Young Girl also mentioned in this book. That's the reason this is my favorite, but it's more than favorite for me. It's definitely love. I can read it for sure. The ambulance letter, then there is a lot of things I want to. The ambulance thing, then there is on the petrol pump, they talk about the romance part. Then at the end of the letter, when the author gives letter that written by Augustus to the Hazel, that letter, a lot of romantic stuff in this book, man. Damn, it's highly anticipated, and this deserves to be the love for me. These are the books I am definitely going to read it for sure, and I will see what happens if I read it, what are the new things I came to know about that. But this is definitely love for me. The last one is P.S. I Love You by Celisa Arran. Okay, sorry for the wrong name. P.S. I Love You is a kind of a book that वाइफ के बारे में है, एंड दिस वाइफ के बारे में कि उसे डेथ, उसके हस्बैंड 30s के होने के बाद उसे डेथ हो जाती है, और उसे वाइफ को अपनी माँ के घर लेटर्स मिल जाते हैं. लेटर्स आर फ्रॉम द मार्च टू दिसंबर, कि हर एक उसे लेटर मिल जाता है कि उसे क्या क्या चीज़ें करनी है. वो सारे लेटर्स उसके हस्बैंड ने उसके लिए लिखे होते हैं. तो दिस इज़ अ काइंड ऑफ अ गुड बुक, बट उसमें जो रोमांस, मतलब हर लेटर के एंड पे PS आई लव यू लिखा होता है. दैट्स द ओनली काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग दैट आई रियली लव. अदर देन दैट इट्स नॉट दैट ग्रेट बुक. आई मीन द वे यू हैव टू स्विच ऑफ द लाइट, यू हैव टू डू दिस थिंग. तो उसके हस्बैंड उसे बताता है कि तुम क्या क्या चीज़ें नहीं करने वाले, तुम क्या क्या चीज़ें करने वाले, उसके बारे में स्टोरी है. आई एन्जॉयड दिस बट इट्स नॉट रियली हाई दैट लेवल. Well, it's not definitely for my favorite. I will probably, it's a good for me, I guess. Yes, definitely it's not that okay, so it's definitely good for me. So I hope that's the list is clear. Finally you got to know one of my favorite romantic books. The top list is all you can read for sure. अगर आपने इसमें से कोई भी पढ़ी नहीं है, then you can go and read that book. All the link in the description, and you can buy that book. You will get at a lower cost maybe, or you can get it on the second hand also. That's not a big part, but you should definitely read this book. So these are the few books. I have actually read another romance book, but I'm not sure I will do that. But there are few other ranking videos going to come on specifically on this topic, which I really wanted to do that. I'm not going to reveal the topic, but you can guess the topic and put it in the comment, and let's see what you think about this book. I know you have your personal opinion and you can do the ranking as per your thinking, but this is what I enjoyed reading. This is what I loved about this book, and I hope you also enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye, tata, take care.